Hello and welcome. In the previous video we have talked about the sacred complex. In this video we will be discussing about nature man spirit complex. This topic is very important because direct questions have been asked in the past and there are probabilities that in future questions may come from this particular topic, that is sacred complex and nature man spirit. For the introductory purpose, the nature man spirit complex is associated with the developmental anthropology. And this concept was given by LP Vidyarthi. He gave both the concept of sacred complex and nature man spirit complex. This is based on the cultural ecological approach. Ecological approach. Here nature comes under the cultural, nature comes under ecological, and man and spirit, it comes under cultural approach. Okay. Nature man spirit complex. The understanding of this concept can serve several socio-economic purposes. See, man comes under cultural, and spirit also comes under cultural, but nature, it comes under ecological approach. So this combining together, it becomes cultural economical approach that was given by this nature man spirit complex. This model was given by LP Vidyarthi, and this belongs to developmental anthropology. This concept was given by LP Vidyarthi in the year 1963, and this concept came from the study of Sauria tribe, Sauria Pahari tribe, or call them as Malair of Raj Mahal Hill. It explains the constant interaction between nature, man, and supernatural. So, as the name implies, it shows the relation as well as their interaction of man, nature, and supernatural. Man, nature, and supernatural. So this is nothing but the nature man complex. This concept has become a guideline for study of isolated tribal communities. So it has become a guideline to study the isolated tribal community. We have defined culture. One of the way to define culture is that how humans respond to the local environmental condition is through culture, right? If there is cold, we will wear woolly clothes or clothes which are made up of some of the other type of hide, or you say sweater is something which is human adaptation to the cold climate. So basically and this sweater, it becomes an item of culture. So as a human response to local environmental condition is also culture. That is, human response to local environmental condition is basically culture. So LP Vidyarthi, he divides this in three ways: man, nature, spirit. Man can handle the environment by entering into relationship with the other human being. That is the domain of man, and hence man enters into relationship. Man enters into relationship with other man for basically survival or to handle the environment. Nature, if you are speaking, see, societies or man, it depends on nature, depends on environment or nature, and it has its own ecology relying on the environment for subsistence. Basically, for the subsistence, man or societies depend upon environment. When it comes to spirit, both nature and man interaction is guided by their belief in spirit, and spirit is being supernatural. So this is nothing but belief in supernatural. So first part, man, nature and spirit. This becomes belief in supernatural. Then there is a type of interaction which happens. This interaction first is man interaction. We classify them into social organization. Then there is man and nature reaction. We call it as ecology. And then there is third type of man and spirit relation. We'll call it as religion. So these are the three components. These are the three components to study the field, to study in the field. As far as the tribe Malayer tribe or LP Vidyarthi's observation in Malayer is concerned, he found that the tribal community which is there is completely isolated. The economy is basically shifting culture, shifting agriculture, jhoom or jhooming that we call, but here they refer it as kallu or khallu. Third is the Malayer societies. Malayer society when nuclear. I would request you to remember this thing, that is Malayer society being a nuclear families, having nuclear families. Because according to one of the classification that we have studied, which goes from savagery, barbarism to civilization, nuclear families are kept under the civilization aspect. But as far as Malayers are concerned, they are the tribal society. They are not someone who have reached the level of civilization according to the Western thinkers. So how this is contradictory in nature? So this will become your exception to the classification, that is Morgan's 3-stage classification, which was further then used by E.B. Tyler, right? Then fourth is there is a drive for two things in this society of Malayer. First is for hunger, and the second is for sex. Hunger for food. Then there are two types of spirit. There are two types of spirits. First is good, first is good, second is evil. The good is called as benevolent, evil is malevolent or malevolent. See, malevolent or evil spirit has to be worshipped, because if you do not worship it, it will bring you flood, disease, crop failure, etc. And there is okay if not worshipped, so that comes under benevolent. So this is how the interaction, that is man, nature, spirit interacts with each other. Man interact with nature, ecology. Man interact with spirit, religion. As far as Malay is concerned, this name is important. Gosain. Gosain is basically the topmost spirit. Gosain is basically the topmost spirit whose link between Malay people and supernatural. Thank you for watching. Have a great time ahead.